So, what happens when the World Cup meets politics, ego, travel bans, and Americans allergic to the word pitch and football? You get really TV in boots. Good morning, good evening, or good afternoon. This is Coffee Break with George. This is your tiny nugget of news for your oversized social media feed. And today's nugget is an overhead kick of a nugget, a World Cup whiplash, where football tries to be beautiful and politics brings in a sledgehammer. Let's sip and spill. So first things first, the World Cup is being hosted across the United States, Canada and Mexico. That means stadiums that look like shopping malls, hot dogs instead of pies, VAR screens you can see from space, and commentators having a full identity crisis. You know, you'll hear things like, he's on the pitch, welcome to the field, pitch, soccer, field, green triangle. Watching Americans trying to say pitch is like watching someone defuse a bomb, slowly, sweaty, and full of panic. And don't even get me started on the word soccer. Half the planet is already offended before kickoff. So, next, on to England. Now, the manager says he's picking players for personality as well as skill, which is lovely. If this were a yoga retreat, you don't just need to score goals, you need to be emotionally available, team-spirited, and nice on a coach ride. It's less win at all costs, more win if everyone feels seen. Some fans are cheering, team spirit wins trophies. Others are quietly muttering, great, we've built a support group, but can anyone actually defend? I know he gets on with him, but is he good at an overhead kick? What about him running down the left wing as long as he says, excuse me? And then comes the question that haunts every England fan like a bad dream in an England shirt. Is it too soon to say it's coming home? Right now, England fans fall into these three categories. The delusional, already booking Wembley open bus. The traumatised, still in therapy from those penalties. The realists whispering, let's just win the first game, yeah? Now, here's where the World Cup stops being a sport and starts being politics with shin pads. There's major controversy. Over 15 countries effectively being blocked from entering the United States. But this is the World Cup, which leads to most awkward question in football history. How the hell do you host the World Cup while telling parts of the world they're not invited? That's not a tournament. That's a VIP nightclub with a very, very picky bouncer. One viral tweet summarised it up perfectly. Man's running the World Cup like a guest league. Sorry, lads, no trainers. Hey, got to wear a shirt here. Polish those shoes. Passport says no. Fans are furious, confused, and making memes faster than VAR can check a goal. Because if teams can't even enter the host country, is this still a World Cup or just a very expensive kick around? FIFA have responded. They've all dressed up in their suits. More than the cost of the houses that we're in, looking deeply uncomfortable. The official statement from FIFA: football must not be used as a political tool, which is adorable considering football has always been political. That's like saying water must not be wet. Behind the scenes, you just know there are emergency meetings, power lunches, and very sweaty officials saying things like, this is not what we put in the brochure. Some fans have sided with FIFA, saying keep politics out of football. Others say football is politics. You just sell it with a ball, with a patch on this arm, the kneeling on one knee on the other. Either way, the Football Cup suddenly feels less about goals and more about borderline control. So, let's recap, shall we? We've got a North American World Cup where commentators are scared of the word pitch. England picking players for vibes over venom. 15 countries stuck outside the door and FIFA trapped in the middle like a referee in a riot. If this World Cup were a movie, it wouldn't be goal. It would be called Borders, Bands and the Beautiful Game. Sort of. I'm going to call it Borders, Bands and the Beautiful Game Part 1 because I'm sure it's going to be continued. So grab your mug, take a sip, and remember, the biggest drama this World Cup might not happen on the pitch, even if Americans are still afraid to say it. This has been Coffee Break with George, your absolutely amazing football nugget of global football chaos. Like, subscribe, and I'll see you on the next sip. Yay!